Welcome to Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast.
We are back, another episode Around the Rinks. I'm Noah, joined by Brendan, Kylee, producer Liam. Reese is he's a little missing right now.
Yeah, EVA. We actually think the cartel got
Cartel
him.
may have gotten him. For all we know, we haven't heard from him. He might be a whole tequila bottle deep. So down in Mexico, good for him though. He deserves it. So we're missing him today. Maybe he might join midway through this. We might hear from him. So
you never know. We might get a little social media
we might
posts
get a
as well
social
from
media
him.
post,
So
yeah.
make sure you check out the Instagram and the Twitter if you want to see Reese in Mexico.
But yeah, I'm sure you think there's a watch party in Mexico for Game 4 last night for Edmonton. I know he was talking about it, that they did do a watch party or something like that. But
There's a lot
when
of
you go
Canadians
to
it's all
vacation
Canadians
there.
there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to Mexico, you all fly together to the same resort, right? So
Could be that, right? So hopefully you watched the game last night because that was a fun game. Game 4, boys were buzzing in Edmonton.
Around the Rinks was in the moss pit.
Yeah. You guys
Can confirm we were.
with your
Yeah, what a
$18
game
beers.
though. What a game.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about
I was
$18
drinking on the
beers,
job.
honestly.
Drinking on the job. Yeah.
But no, it was an insane
It was.
game in terms of like how it started and then how it ended. I mean, that final 5 minutes
That was
of the
crazy.
third period was just wild.
Did you see how many Canuck fans?
Everybody was buzzing.
See how many Canuck fans were in the crowd? I
There
feel
was
like
quite a bit, actually.
when the Canucks scored, like with the minute 30 or whatever it was, I saw so many like front row on the glass people jump up. I was like, holy crap. That is just kind of out of nowhere how many Canuck fans were there.
They got that Vancouver money, okay?
Yeah,
they're
true.
able to
Oh,
afford
yeah.
sitting
They
down. Look,
must be nice.
they've rented out their 18th house for $7,000 a week. So you know what? They're doing
They're
fine,
doing
okay?
Yeah. But yeah, game 5 going back to Vancouver. That's probably the most important game of the series now. Best of 3.
Yep.
So
Winner
Yeah.
Or
of
best of
80% of the time.
yeah.
Whoever wins tomorrow night, I'm sorry, goes on to win that series. It's
That's
just-
Yeah.
that is pretty much always the go-to. Whoever wins takes this game
It's
5.
do or die.
So before I know we want to break down the actual game itself, and we want to talk about like goals scored, players, this, that. I think the question that's going to be on every single Oiler fan's mind for today and going into game day tomorrow is who starts game 5 between the pipes?
That is crazy how they started Pickard. Like, whoa.
Chris Knobloch.
Biggest
I
balls.
don't know how he walks. I don't know how he can do it. He's got 2 bowling balls between his legs. I'm gonna be honest. Like that man is ballsy.
Ballsy.
Like wow.
I mean, if
The changes he made, it worked. It really
if the
did.
Canucks can start a third string goalie, why can't Edmonton, right? Like, sure, might as well.
You know,
right?
Pickard's been
And
waiting for this his whole life.
Totally,
He's been waiting for it his whole life.
he deserves it.
So, and he deserves it. I hope he starts tomorrow. I love Skinner, but we cannot be taking chances, and Pickard is the wall. He's the
But-
wall.
but
I saw him make
Uh-huh.
saves last night
but
that,
this brings
like, I'm
so
sorry to
much-
say, Skinner wouldn't have saved them.
But this brings so much into question now because Stuart Skinner is your franchise goalie. He's
Yep.
the
Yeah.
guy who's your number one. If you abandon him in the second round of playoffs and you go, okay, Calvin Pickard, you're the guy now. You come in, you're doing the job. You then go, okay, well, is Stuart Skinner our starting goalie going into next season, or
We're gonna give him
start
Campbell
Calvin
syndrome.
Pickard?
The thing,
Like, there's so
the
many
thing with
question
Skinner,
marks now.
he's so young still. Like, goaltenders, you don't
Mhm.
see hit their prime until like 27 or 28, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he got given that number one role, and then you're taking it away again. You know,
Yeah.
when you actually is an important moment, you're taking it away. So I don't know. Confidence
Team
wise,
comes
must be
first,
shot.
though.
And then again, you
I don't
guys
know.
won last night. You got to stick with the hot goalie, right? So
Yeah, and the 2 goals he gave up was a tip and a off the
off the
skate. Like
yeah.
neither of those are his fault. I don't know how you don't go back to him.
Exactly, and he made some $10 saves too. He just looked steady. He
Yep.
looked
No,
like the
I-
most motivated player on the ice. So and
I think 100% it's a non-question of who you start. I think Pickard he deserves that.
Mhm.
It's just it calls so much into question now of is Skinner your number one for the rest of
I think a
fine
lot
in
of-
Edmonton. Like, what happens?
I think a lot of people are forgetting this is only his second time in the playoffs too. Like they're acting like he's up here, but like he's still a young guy. This is only his second time in the playoffs. So it's like, I think we gotta like try and not break his confidence like we did to Campbell. We put so much pressure on that guy and he broke.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I don't know.
But
I
you're
think he's a
that
veteran
is-
guy. He's done it. He's been in the AHL East Coast, I think, too, right? I think he's played in the AHL every single year of his career, at least one game there. So
Yeah.
he's a guy who's really just been pushing to have this start, have this chance, right? So he's gonna live in this moment, and he clearly did last
As
year.
a team, though, who wants to win a Stanley Cup, though, you need to have pressure on every single one of your big, important players, and that includes your starting goalie. So, I mean, if it comes into question that maybe Skinner's just not capable of handling that pressure, maybe he's not the man for the job, you're gonna have a conversation one day of do we move him on? Is there someone we can bring in and he's the backup kind of thing? So again, the conversations between goaltending is going to be very interesting come the end of the season.
I'm very curious what they do in the off seasons. Like, are they going to ride?
I think there's going to be a move made for a goalie in the summer. I really think there
I don't know
is.
who's available though.
But what do you give up? Who's available and what do you give up? The Oilers don't have tons.
I don't want to
of
say the
trade
D
bait.
word, but his contract's up. I saw like a hypothetical trade the other day, and it was Draisaitl for a goalie.
He's been the best player in the entire
playoffs. You don't give up Draisaitl.
No, I don't want it to happen.
But if he's willing to resign,
no, that was set up by Vancouver fan. No chance he moves. Only way he leaves is if he walks.
Exactly.
Is he the only person who has their contract ending?
Well, he has one more year, right? Like
he still has one more year.
He has one more year.
Yeah, but you trade him before he gets to the end of that one more year because you don't let him walk out the door.
So on July 1st, he can sign an extension. But like, if he says I don't want to sign an extension, that's where you're like, okay, we need to trade him now, or we can lose him for nothing.
You better sign that extension.
Yeah.
It depends what happens in this series. I mean,
I know it really does depend on this.
If you're Leon Draisaitl, you're going, I'm the best player in playoffs. I deserve to be playing on the best team in playoffs. And on paper, I think a lot of people thought that was Edmonton, but we're seeing right now that maybe it just isn't.
And we're saying this now. Watch them; they're going to the Cup final. They might just win it all, right? Like they're right there. They're still like, it's 2-2 in the series. They're not losing.
Yeah, I mean Vancouver's giving us a run for our money. I mean they're a young team, and it was 9 years. They want it too, right? So they're putting up a fight, but I think we're gonna prevail.
I mean, yeah.
Well, the way they protect the house, man, like the home plate, whatever you want to call it, is absolutely insane. And I mean, you saw it before in Nashville, and you're seeing it again here. Like, I don't know many teams that collapse that much and are that successful with it. It is very effective, and they are so good at it. Not like, I don't know really where I want to go with that. Like third string goalies. I mean, Edmonton just did it with Pickard, but he at least had time throughout the season. This guy gets thrown in out of nowhere.
Like you weren't even with the club beginning of the playoffs.
And then just get thrust into action, and he looks like a stud. Like,
well, I'm gonna challenge that actually, because I think in this series against Edmonton, he has been very average actually.
I don't know.
For goals allowed versus shots on net. Games 1, he let in four goals on 18 or 3 goals on 18 shots.
That first game, he was a great game too, though.
Game 2, incredible. Made 40 saves, kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, yes.
You can argue that the pipes kept out a lot of goals too, right? So it's if the bar wasn't there.
I don't like that excuse at all.
Just like Grant Fierce says, all I gave you was the post.
Like exactly. That's what I always say.
It didn't go in. I mean, you're so close, but you're yet so far.
My glove was protecting the net, not the post.
100%. Why would I protect the post? It's not even a shot on net.
It doesn't even count as a shot. So,
right? But like the guy, he's made some stellar saves, and like you said, maybe throughout most of the game he's average, but I don't know. Like, I don't think there's many third string guys that just get thrown into a net.
And then
for what he is, yeah, he's
what he
overperforming
did last
100%.
night when Evander Kane went on that partial breakaway and he came out of the net rushing right at him. That is insane.
Hurt my soul.
That is crazy.
Like,
That takes balls.
Nuts. Yeah.
we say Knobloch has big balls. Saloffs. Oh my god.
And he's rushing at a player who's known to have balls too. Like that player, Kane could have hit him for all he knew.
Yep.
And he still did it anyways.
Those
Crazy.
are 50-50 plays all the time. And he won the coin toss.
I'll ask you people, because you're hockey people more than I am. What do you think about Chris Knobloch splitting up the Oilers' offensive lines and kind of distributing the top talent a bit more?
Loved it.
I feel like that's. Go ahead. Sorry.
When you put your top two together like that, I mean, the rest of the lines suffer, and we saw that happening.
This is definitely more of a matchup series. Like, compared to LA series, where LA tried to match up with the Oilers a little more than they did, Oilers are trying to match up with the Canucks every single line shift. And splitting up all these lines and spreading out the offense talent, it's kind of how you have to deal with this, right? And your top talent's better than Vancouver's. That is just, that's guaranteed. But, like, their depth is... they're scoring more. That's like...
Yeah.
That's
Well, that
big
third
right?
line, like, I said it in the first round and before we even started getting into the playoffs. That third line in Vancouver is insane, and they've been giving us a run for our money.
And the decor in Vancouver. They're
very impressive.
Impressive. It's Zadorov? Holy crap, that guy's going to get paid.
No kidding.
Holy smokes.
But yeah, I think if you're going to go on a run, you need to have those guys play separately. Like, they've been absolutely dominant together. And after game 2, I got a little something. I just pulled it, sent it to a buddy on Twitter. But it says, tonight, McDavid, Draisaitl, Ekholm, Bouchard. I know that's not just McDavid, Draisaitl, but they play as a unit anyway, all 4 of them. Because they played 19 minutes together at even strength. Shot attempts were 35-6. Scoring chances were 19-2 in favor of Edmonton, right? They scored 3 goals, and they had an 86 goals share, whatever it is, that stat, in those 19 minutes. That's insane. If you're hitting 55, you're impressed. 86?
That is mental.
But on the flip side of that coin, those other 3 lines,
Womp womp.
a little scary.
I mean, there's a time and place that you put your big guns all together. I mean, power play has been the thing of this series. I think for Edmonton, the power play has been bailing them out in moments when they really, really just needed a goal, kind of thing. So, you know how good Edmonton is when they're a man advantage. So, you put your big guns out there. I mean, and if the game's tight in that third period, you're putting them all out together. You're giving McDavid 15 of the 20 minutes in that period. So just go do something. Figure it out, Connor, please. Just for God's sakes, help us, please. And I mean, it's something magical to see when you just go, guys, just go play all together. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think we can sleep on that kill either, though. Like, that has been the Achilles heel of that team for how many years, right? And not that they're perfect anymore, but they got a double minor last night, and they didn't have a shot on net for like 3.5 minutes of it.
They have one shot, that whole thing. That was just amazing to watch in the Moss Pit. It was like electric.
I
Throughout the whole area.
So
Everybody was going
that 4 minutes.
wild. And I wanted to talk about Desharnais and Ekholm are just playing stellar right now. We have our offensive defensemen and our defensive defensemen playing great. Desharnais is holding it down. I have been loving him for a long time now. Last year, he was new. He could tell he was nervous. He was making mistakes. This year, he has cleaned up his act. Ekholm is taking those chances, and it's just great watching him score and just lock it down, and just using both of them are using their bodies to block shots, to hit players, and I think it's just amazing.
Perfect playoff players, right? Like, just a big, pretty defenseman. That's what, you have hammers and nails, and those 2 are the definition of hammers. It is big deadline deal by big old Kenny to pick up Ekholm and bringing up a homegrown dude, not giving up on him and not giving up on himself, right? Like, to be, 26, 27 and making your debut. Hats off, man. Hats off.
Yeah.
I was so happy last night to see Nugent Hopkins get on the score sheet.
Overdue.
Man, that has been
Very
coming
overdue.
for so long. Yeah, we need him to be producing
Yeah.
goals. He's in that top 5 talent on the team. He has to be giving top 5 performances, which I don't think he has for a
Yeah.
little while, if I'm honest.
Offensively,
I mean,
definitely he's not there, but
Mhm.
he's doing his job defensively every single shift, right? So it
Yeah.
it depends on what Knobloch wants out of him, right? What role he wants to play, because he can. I mean, look at last year, how many points he got last year,
Yeah.
right? So he can do it, like. But I feel like they want him to
I think
play
that's
this more
why
shutdown
Knob
role.
put him.
Yeah, I think
I think that's why Knob put him where he put him last night. He was like, "Okay, I'm putting you on the first line. You need to produce." Because everybody knows you're. A lot of people are like, "Why is Nugent Hopkins going on the top line?" And I was like, "Because Knob wants him to produce. He's putting that pressure, and Nuge lived up to the pressure."
Yeah, what a shot too, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Beckholm, way to take a hit to make a play, dude. Like create a 2-on-1 by eating that. Yeah, fantastic.
I mean, ultimately, that game last night was something fantastic. I mean, Bouchard scoring with like 30 seconds to go to win the game. I think the most impressive thing about Bouchard is I mean, you can talk about his shooting all day, every day. Yes, he rips at 85, 90 miles an hour, but it's the accuracy. He picks his spot. Yes, he's got one of the most impressive shots in the league, but it's the accuracy that just goalies cannot handle. They cannot stop it. It's such a weapon to have on your defense.
I agree. He is incredible. He's your number one defenseman right there. Like
Mhm.
he's
Yeah.
your guy. He's not. It
ain't
and this
Darnell.
isn't like a Tyson Berry type of thing. This is like he is incredible. Like he is incredibly offensively talented, and defensively he will get there. But he's your guy, and he's matched with Quinn Hughes on like that, and he's living up against him, right? So I don't know. He's amazing.
I wish CC would take those chances too,
CC?
because we know he has a hard shot. Can he make it a good shot? You know?
Oh.
He ain't Boosh.
Yeah.
Sorry, CC, he ain't Boosh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
is there anything
the
else you
kids-
guys want?
Well, Bouchard, like he's 24 years old, right? Like, he's only going to get better too, which is so fantastically awesome for the Edmonton fans. Did you see that
30 something.
Yeah, that's also crazy. But did you see that he's third fastest to 40 points in playoff history, behind Brian Leach and Bobby Orr?
Yeah.
That's comical.
Wow.
Yeah,
those are some
37 games.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to bring up a little bit of the reffing? I mean, last night it seemed fine, but some of the earlier games this round killed me.
I don't know.
Killed me. The Canucks game where we lost was horrible.
It's so weird because I thought refereeing in the first round was pretty good all around. I think the Capital series was like the only one that was like, holy crap, this is terrible. But like this second round, it's been tough for almost every matchup. Like, I'll stay with the Edmonton one, but like, whew, oh boy. And I was just saying before we recorded, they are calling things that shouldn't be called, but they're not calling things that should be called.
Bench minor.
Bench minors, that's a weird one. I don't know.
Well, and they're right there too, right? Like they probably have a better idea
they probably
than what we
heard a
do
couple
sitting at
things,
home. Yeah, and like you'll never know with that one, but like it's so incredibly soft to me.
Yeah, sure.
Trips are trips, right? You're never gonna stop that. But like interference calls, like that one on Draisaitl last night, 10 years ago, that like play through that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I will take it as Edmonton fans,
not
but
even 10 years
just
ago.
that for an example.
Not even 10 years ago.
Not
like
even there you
right
go.
now, like
5 years.
Like
it's so crazy. Like put the whistles away. It's playoff time. Let the better team win. Call penalties. Keep the guys safe. I get all that stuff, but it's so like I don't want it to turn into the NBA, and I'm scared it's kind of getting there, right? Like guys just flopping and flailing, and you saw Zadorov do it with Fogel, and it's the first example that comes to my head. But it's all over the place. It's every series. It's nuts.
I think I want more embellishment calls. Like the
Yes.
amount of diving is insane. Like I guess it's a good segue to the Boston Florida series now, because that is a prime example. Like Jim Montgomery's reaction to Florida flopping around. It was so funny. Him going the fishtailed and whoa, whatever like that. Like, I love that guy.
If they're not going to call it, like, why wouldn't you almost,
totally,
right?
And that's
Yeah.
what Florida's been doing best right now. And there's certain players that do it all the time, and the refs know those players, and they've been called and whatnot. But like, I haven't seen one embellishment call yet this playoffs. So
Well, I think there was coincidental somewhere along
Yeah,
the line.
probably, I don't
Someone took a.
which I'm call it a
It
coincidence.
was offset with a. Yeah.
Please, like,
Right?
like at least that, right? I don't know.
Well, not to bring up other leagues, and Liam, this might be a better question for you, but like, isn't the MLS doing something where if a player stays down for 15 seconds, they have to get off for 2 minutes or something like that?
I gotta be honest, I don't follow MLS too closely.
Yeah, I kind of figured
I
with all the Scotland things behind you, but
I know the MLS is trying to do a couple different things in terms of improving their game, because I know they get a lot of hate from the North American fan of, oh my god, soccer is just a bunch of babies rolling around, flopping everything. So they are trying to do things. So I mean, it's possible. It is possible. I'm not 100% sure though.
and I don't know if you could do anything like that in hockey. It's much more like close quarters, smaller ice surface, faster pace, but
Bigger hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hits.
Speed
It's
and-
actual. Yeah, like
Sometimes
it
you
would
get
be tough,
winded, right? So
I mean, soccer.
But-
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, and grow up. You're a professional athlete. Like you can drag yourself off, and if you're winded, that's one thing. To just dive around, like there should be a consequence to that of some sort. And
Here's a
If
question
it's-
I think it was game 3 I had it. I said, what if the NHL brought in once per game you get a coach's challenge for something that like to be sent for review?
Oh boy.
Because when there's a missed call and they go, oh, sorry, it can't be reviewed, it's like, it's a missed call. Why can't we review this?
Like even when the announcers are like, "This is a wrong call," and you're listening to this on TV, and it makes your blood boil, and all you can do is watch.
Well,
Was it game 2 in the Edmonton series when Vancouver had the hand pass before they scored their goal? It's like, why can that not be challenged by a coach? That I want to be this specific thing to be reviewed. Is that something that no?
okay. NHL fans hate reviews, is what the NHL
Yeah.
has definitely learned.
But don't you hate
Exactly.
more a
That's
missed
another
call?
thing. I can't you review a hand pass?
I feel like it's smart putting a number on
I
it.
feel like you can't.
One
if
per
it's a-
game. You get
If
one.
it's a goal, I'm pretty sure you could have reviewed that. No.
He's
I-
talking
I
like
have no idea.
a bad penalty.
Oh,
Just a missed
With, like,
call.
it not
if it's
ending
a
in a
hand
goal.
Sometimes
pass,
a
I think.
missed call.
But if it's a penalty, I don't think it can be reviewed. For a goal.
I wish I. Yeah.
Or like,
One a
okay,
game
let,
would be
us
nice.
let's use McDavid's high sticking that was
That's
missed.
what I was gonna bring up, yeah.
Yeah. Could that not? Could Vancouver not go? Hey guys, you quite clearly missed this. I want a coach's review. This gets
No.
sent upstairs. 10 seconds it should take on camera, and you go, yeah, high sticking. 2 minutes.
Yeah,
there you go.
But what they
right?
can do now for high sticking only is if it is a high sticking penalty, they can review it to make it a major or go it down to a minor.
okay.
Or they
So
can
why
call it
did
off
that
in
not
general.
happen against McDavid?
Because they didn't call it.
there was no
Yeah,
call.
there's no call.
So there
Yeah.
you go. So that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
one per game. Each coach says, you know what? I'm allowed to challenge this. You missed something, and let's go get that.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the reviews suck, but they review so much garbage. Like, I almost, might be a crazy hot take, but like, offsides, I feel like should be like icings. If you can't see it in real time, like the officials are so good,
Yeah,
they're hitting it
they're-
99.9%. And I mean, sometimes they miss glaring ones, and I like the rule for that. But if you can't see it in the first 2 or 3 goes, why are we looking at an offside that is millimeters for 5 minutes? That's
And we
the
have to
issue
go to
to
commercial
me.
break and everything. It is a lot. So I
Yeah.
agree.
That's the exact conversation that's happening right now in soccer as well, where they're trying to like say, okay, we're getting down to the finest of margins. He's offside by half of his toe.
Yeah.
Let's call this even
I-
kind of thing. And I think that's the same thing in
It's-
hockey
it's
here.
weird.
And why are we trying to take away goals? We're trying to create more offense in the game
True.
over and over and over and over. We're putting more rules in to just get offense buzzing. But the offside, all it does is take away goals. So
It also
I don't
kills
know.
momentum. I hate when
True.
momentum is
Extremely-
being killed for something so
Extremely, like, the
stupid.
review is like a long ass one. Like you can see reviews go up to 5 minutes, and it's insane. Like I don't understand, and they have so much people in the situation room, like watching it with different angles. There's multiple people. I feel like that should be just done like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah, I had that thought. I think a couple games ago where I said one per game. Let's just give the coaches a little bit of power to kind of say, you know what, I'm not happy with what you
I
did
mean,
there.
like how long from now is like if it's overtime in Stanley Cup final to win the cup, and it gets called back for an offside call? That is just the worst thing that can possibly happen.
Yep.
And it can easily
Yep.
happen like that. And
Yep.
even in overtime, like now, they review every single goal after an overtime goal. Like, it is crazy.
I'm okay with that. Though.
I'm okay with that. Like, okay, sure, if it's an I don't know. If it is like called,
If it's sudden
but-
death, you want to make sure it's a like good
Yeah.
goal. I get
True,
that.
but like it might happen where it's game 7 overtime, Stanley Cup final. All the confetti's on the ice
Well, wasn't
already. Like,
Wasn't
That
it,
would suck.
Wasn't it Calgary years ago
Calgary,
who
Buffalo?
scored a goal
Or-
that it wasn't given
no,
or something
wait,
like
was it
that?
Buffalo or Dallas? Or oh boy,
I can't recall.
No,
All I
Killing my
remember is that
brain.
Calgary scored a goal that was not given, kind of thing, and it kind of knocked out playoffs or
because
something. Or they didn't win the
it
cup
was
from
it was
it.
the skate in the crease. That's
There
what
you
it
go.
was. Because in old NHL rules, if your skate or any part of your body was in the goaltender's crease, it's called off. It's just-
Yeah, just like international
Yeah.
rules.
So that's
Yeah.
how it used to be, but now you can be in there as long as you don't obstruct the goalie. you know?
Interfere, yeah.
Speaking of that, Bob last night. What do we think about that,
Oh boy. That
Mr.
that
Goalie?
one was a
Would you have
weird
been
one. Oh,
throwing
I would have
walkers
been
and
so
whatnot?
pissed. But honestly, the game before that, Boston had the same thing with Swayman. So
Mhm.
I guess you call it even now. So I don't get goaltender interference at all. I'm just trying to remember. That was
No one
I think,
does. That's the beauty of it.
I think that was so. I forgot who pushed him in, but it was Charlie Coyle who fell into Bob because somebody.
Yeah, I think it was Sam Bennett.
It probably was, or sorry, yeah, it was Sam Bennett that fell into Swayman. Oh God, wait, no. Or-
Oh, I don't know.
it
All right,
was-
let's stop pretending.
yeah, it was one way or the other. I forget now. It's all blur, but it's happened both sides already in game 3 and game 4, whatever it was. So,
Are you sure you're not the one in Mexico right now? My
hey,
goodness,
hey.
sir.
I know.
What day is it, Noah? What day is it? You touch your nose, please.
It is Thursday, I believe. Or no, it's Wednesday. Oh my
Uh-oh.
God.
Oh, we failed the
It is
test.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, my
Oh
dudes.
boy. Living that summer lifestyle. I don't care what day of the week it is.
Noah is gone.
But yeah, goalie interference both sides. We call it even. That's where you call it even. I was genuinely pissed off when it happened to the Bruins. Then when against the Panthers, I was like, okay, it's even now. But like I was still pissed off. How about Paul Maurice though? Did you guys see that clip?
Yeah,
Uh,
the post-game
oh
interview.
my God.
10 out of 10. 10 out
He
of
has
10.
been giving the media so much. He's pretty much playing games with the media, and I think Peter DeBoer called him out. I'm pretty sure it was Peter DeBoer, and he was like, yeah, he's only doing it after wins, and he did it last night when they lost against the Bruins again. So it's just Paul Maurice being Paul Maurice. He's a fantastic
Mhm.
coach, and how can you not love that guy? And also, even in that same game, he gave a pep talk to that team. He was like,
Pep talk would be the
pep
word.
talk. It was a scream and a half. Like
That
yeah,
one.
there it is. But he was screaming at the whole bench because they were not playing. I mean, Bruins dominated the entire first period, and
Yeah.
minute after Florida scores, it is just like, wow, that was a coach's goal right there. And I don't see that from any other coach in the league like that. You see, I mean, even on the other side, Jim Montgomery does the same thing. Honestly, maybe it's like bald people who do that. Maybe,
Well, Talkett called out his team yesterday
maybe,
too.
Maybe
so
that's how you make a good head coach.
there's a trend.
But yeah, that whole series,
Yeah.
Boston
Boston lives to see another day.
forces game 6 now, so looks better for my prediction. I mean, I think we only had one person call Florida to win. That was Kylee, right? Yeah.
She did.
Which is crazy.
No, I didn't. It was
I
Reese.
took Florida.
I took Boston with you
I
and
think you're the
Liam.
only one, Brennan, then. Because one person picked Florida.
I think Reese did too. I think it's us three.
Yeah, game 6 there goes Friday.
Going home.
Yeah.
Going home.
Yeah.
Back to the
Garden.
garden.
Let's talk a little bit about the Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes, because boy, I was close.
I was so close too.
I called New York winning that in 4, and you all gave
That's
me
insane.
I had it in
we were
5.
like, no,
pile
no.
of shit, because you were like, nah, this guy's on the sauce. But listen, you didn't trust in the New York Rangers and the run they were on.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, it has fallen off the wagon a little bit the last 2 games. Carolina's digging themselves out of the hole they put themselves in. This series is going to 7. I hate to break it to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like,
6 or
yeah,
7
it
for sure.
It totally.
Yeah.
I thought.
From 3 down.
6 or 7. Hot take, Kylie over here.
Well,
It's guaranteed to go to game 6, Kylie. I hate to break it to you.
I thought
Game 6 next
I
game.
thought I had the script for a second. I ain't gonna lie. I predicted everything correct. I thought it was gonna be Rangers in 5. I thought Carolina was gonna take game 4 at home.
Yeah.
And Rangers is going back to Madison Square Garden and winning it in 5. But
We
nope,
kind of sucked with a lot of our
Oh,
predictions, not gonna lie.
we're terrible.
Except
for Reese. Reese is insane.
Like for Mr. Liam over here.
I'm just out here tossing shit.
No,
around.
imagine if they got 8 in a row though. They tied their record. They would have they tied their record with 7. They would have set a new one with 8. It would have been absolutely insane. Liam would have had all the I did it
I would have never shut up about it. Would have never shut up
all
about
glory.
it.
Well,
But I mean,
That would have been such a scary team. Like imagine they were unbeatable and you're versing them in round
Yeah.
3.
I
Every
But
team would have been
now
like, I'm good.
I think
I don't want
now
peace.
if you're Carolina, you're going into game 6 tomorrow going, you know what, guys? We are the team on the
Yeah,
run
looking
now.
forward to
We
game
are the
7.
team that
Yeah. House is money, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's yes. Don't ever underestimate the Rangers and how they're going to come out for game 6. They're going to come out flying. Of course, they're going to want to just finish this series and say, guys, we fucked around for 2 games. Let's end this. But at the same time, you're going to go, we're Carolina. We're a good team ourselves. We're not to be looked over by anything. We can 100% come back, even up this series, and then win it in game 7. So I mean, if you're Carolina, you're going, guys. We should be the confident team going into game 6.
Sure.
100%.
And it's all gonna line Igor Shesterkin. I mean, he stole those 3 games so easily. Like I think we're talking about in the predictions, and I was saying it's like that guy is the X factor for the Rangers, and
He is,
man,
yeah.
he stole those 3 games, and he's got to come back for game 6, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to beat him. It's hard to beat 3 games in a row against Shesterkin, or 4 games in a row. Sorry, but I don't know. I think the Rangers.
Yeah, if there's a team to do it.
It's got to be the Canes. I don't know.
Yeah, Canes are right there, but yeah, I don't know.
They're
Rangers,
scary.
like you said, are they losing 4 in a row? I don't see it, but
No.
I mean, they just won 7 in a row.
Carolina's, yeah, exactly. Carolina's on a run, and I don't know. I mean, that's just sit on the fence answer, but
Yeah, well,
Deal with
I,
it.
I think who had or Canes? Did anybody have Canes?
I think Brendan did. Did you not?
I originally did, but then I flip-flopped because Igor was
floppy.
crazy
Didn't
good.
Reese do Canes? I swear that man picked. He did. I think he picked like all the teams that are coming back, basically.
If he comes out 4 for 4 again,
We
No,
will
he's
go
not,
on.
because he didn't
we might
pick
need to go to
Dallas.
Vegas after. So,
No
Dallas ain't done
kidding.
yet. Don't you worry about Dallas. That
Dallas
ain't done
isn't
yet.
done.
It ain't
Dallas
done
isn't
yet.
done, but it might be done. Like,
It could be done by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
oh, they're
Yeah,
true. I mean, they're
100%.
playing right now, 9 minutes in. I don't know.
I gotta be honest. You can say what you want about this series in terms of who's the better team. I did not see a 3-1 Dallas lead
Sure.
over Colorado. I thought Colorado was the Western team to beat. I mean, McKinnon and Makar by themselves are Stanley Cup capable winning players. I mean, look at the job Dallas is doing this year. To knock out the reigning Stanley Cup champions, and then to move on to a team like Colorado and just handle them and deal with that kind of offensive talent, you're a scary team if you're looking at playing Dallas in the next round.
Yeah.
I think they kind of lost a little bit of their team there when Buddy went into the player assistance program.
Listen,
Okay,
Yeah. Strike one, strike two, strike
So
three.
that is
He was
You're
up
right.
there with McKinnon in goal scoring, so that was a very important player that they lost.
I mean, with like
have we heard anything about what it actually like? Is it confirmed what's happened? Is it going to be confirmed?
a test. We don't know what test. I'll put that in quotes, but they said on, sports that he failed a test.
sports.
What test is that? I'm going to assume it's a drug test.
Could be on the roids. Could be on the Russian injections.
Well, that's
okay.
what it was before. It was
Yeah.
drug related in some way, and that's why he went to the player assistance last playoffs. So,
Yeah,
and here it is again.
but he's just like clockwork.
I hope.
From
he's
what I
fine.
heard, though, the Colorado players are not on his side.
Mm-mm.
in
His
terms of-
nameplate's gone.
They ripped it off.
They were like, you know what? He made his bed. He has to lie in it now. It's on him at this point, which I think that says a lot in terms of if your teammates know what you're doing and
Yep.
they go, hey, you fucked around. Now you got to find out. I think that says a lot in terms of this was a well-established thing that was happening. They knew what was going on.
It's giving
I'm not
repeat
saying-
offender.
Again,
Like, I'm not saying a
And-
cover up, but I'm saying they allowed it to happen to an extent. So maybe there's a bit more of a story there. Who knows?
yeah.
Maybe we'll find out more
I
soon.
hope he's fine. Usually you won't hear much, extremely at this high stage 3 now, right? So you're not going to hear
And for
anything
6 months too.
without pay.
It's a long time.
Well, just signing a $49 million ticket over 7-8 years and fumbling it that badly, like,
He was doing so good
Yeah,
too.
he's their best player.
Because he was on the
He's
roids.
their best player. I don't know if it was
Come on.
roids or not.
Barry
but-
Bonds did exactly.
I
Barry
think it
Bonds
was
did nothing
something that
wrong,
makes you
okay?
very energetic.
we made the game fun.
Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter in the history of baseball. Okay,
But,
I don't care what he did.
I mean, I think Colorado's still going to come out swinging. Like, they're going to come
Yeah.
out. I mean, they still have so many great players. Rantanen needs to step up, though. That is
Mhm.
one guy.
Oh.
I mean, all of them really have to step up.
All of them.
But
Like, Dallas has done a fantastic
shutting
job
them-
of just
yeah,
that one. Carry on.
shutting them down. But I saw Rantanen staying out for practice. I don't even think he had shoes or skates on, and he was just out there shooting pucks on the ice, and just staying out, just trying to get something going for him. And I think Joe Pavelski just scored. So Dallas won.
Whoa.
Pavelski.
There it is. First
That's
goal.
That's a
for the playoffs.
that's a name that's been around for way too long. To be honest,
And how good of a player he is.
Joe. Oh, incredible!
This
Talk about doing it
yeah.
right, hey? San Jose, Dallas, what a couple places to play
Yeah,
hockey.
Yeah, he's done good for himself.
pretty sure that was his first. I don't remember now.
Yeah, he's been
He's
quiet.
been extremely after last year when I feel like he's been scoring every game and
Mhm.
scoring hat tricks. But
Yeah,
then he had that big injury. But yeah,
have to
I
bounce
mean,
back when you're 40 years old. There.
Exactly. I was gonna say.
Veteran.
How do you guys
Retirement
think
home.
it's gonna ultimately go for Colorado and Dallas?
It's hard to say. If they can't step it up, it might be done in 2 hours here. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna stroke my ego over here. That's why I asked.
yeah. That's why we're not giving you answers.
yeah, I don't remember what I had. Were you the only one?
I was
we
the
all-
only person who had Dallas.
I
Yeah.
didn't have Dallas. So okay.
we all said Colorado. Yeah.
You all said Colorado, and then you guys bullied me for it a little, and I
No,
said,
I
"Wow."
think Noah was the closest because he said if Ottinger has a good series, they can do something.
He
there.
hasn't even been.
Yeah.
The,
I think you said they
X
could do it
factor,
in 5. So,
Mm.
but you ultimately went Colorado. I mean, it's tempting. How could you not, right, with those players? But I was like, I don't know. I'm sticking. I basically stuck with the same picks I had since before the playoffs.
So let's say
yeah.
hypothetically, Dallas goes on to win tonight. They win the series 4-1. You then look at the Edmonton Vancouver series. Let's say that goes to 7. if you're Dallas, do you want that break in between, or would you rather just keep that momentum going? Would you hope that the Vancouver Edmonton series finishes as quickly as it possibly can?
We talked about it a couple podcasts ago.
They haven't had a break yet, right?
Having momentum is key, and honestly, you're
Mhm.
seeing it now with Edmonton, Vancouver. Edmonton had that break, and Skinner didn't look like how he was in the LA series, and that could be the same thing with Ottinger now, right? So that is, I think momentum is huge. I feel like it's good to have those breaks to have healing time and whatnot, but when you get off your game for, it could be a week, right? It could be big. Like that can be a big X factor in game one at least, right? And I don't know.
I think if I was them, I would want the break at this point.
Realistically,
they've played 12 games in like 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hockey. That's a lot of wear and tear on that body, and like they've got 3 more games. So at tops, if they don't win tonight, it's like a week, right? Maybe a little bit more. Like you said, game 1, but like it really shouldn't be an excuse for much past that. They're professionals.
Yeah.
Figure it out, and if anything, just heal those bumps and bruises a little bit, right?
But you always see it. It's just something that it's
I
always
know.
a talking point, and it's always just it's proven. It's just like every time.
I think it could be good for them. Like, yeah, like they haven't, like Brendan said, they have not had a break, and maybe they need a little bit of a break. But I think it depends on the team and the goalie if a break is good or if a break is not good. Because we've seen teams have breaks this playoffs and do great.
True.
And some others are not.
Yeah.
So
I think it
like,
depends. I think it's a player by player basis in terms of if you'd rather have that momentum or rather have that break. I mean, each player is going to want something slightly different.
Coaching thing too.
Yeah, like I think the Oilers are a team that we need to keep momentum.
Yeah.
Well, I
can see
mean,
that.
Edmonton's been very fortunate this season to have no major injuries to anyone really, really important. So if you can keep, exactly.
Knock on
Not
wood,
every bit
Liam.
of wood. There you go. But it's like, if you can keep that going, you want momentum to be on your side. Whereas if you have some bumps and bruises, like we looked at Draisaitl having that injury earlier on in this series, a couple of players here and there, you might want that time break to kind of go, okay, guys, go sort your shit out for a couple of days, and we'll come on back then. So, Edmonton's also been lucky this series for not having tons of travel. I mean,
True.
Vancouver to Edmonton is a 2-hour flight, if that.
If it was Nashville, we would have been screwed.
It's such a different game then. Yeah, the day in between games is not really much of a day because you are traveling, you're resting, a little bit of time difference, so it's a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, that is a big factor of always, like having distance travel. It's a lot of travel you do in this couple weeks each round. So
I think we are very fortunate to play
staying
Vancouver.
in Canada is already huge enough, right? So I don't know. It's
But Nashville, it would have been over in 4. Draisaitl would have just got 8 points a game because that guy absolutely owns that franchise somehow.
I hate to break it. I completely agree. I think if it was Nashville, this series is over already.
Yeah. And then Ekholm's just like, haha, just stunting on them.
yeah, against your old team.
You always have to stunt on your old team.
As if you're classless, Kylie Betts. Some of us have class, okay? Some of us respect where we
Kylie's
came
taking
from.
it today.
I am. It's okay. Dallas is going to win, and then I'm going to have it on all of you. So
Yeah, true. Damn it.
Some of us respect where we came from. We can shake hands and keep our heads up high, okay?
Actually, have you guys been watching the Worlds?
No.
Not at all.
Well,
I know Poland.
JT's learning lessons, so
well,
oh my god.
I saw
Great.
that this like
All of a sudden.
European team almost came back. Like Canada was up
So,
like 4 goals,
Canada
and they almost came back on
Canada
them.
went to the third period up 6-1 against Austria.
Mm-hmm.
And Austria
had to go to
pushed it
overtime.
all the way 6-6 and going overtime.
Scary.
Canada luckily
That's a
won.
joke.
Imagine.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a good look. I ain't gonna lie. That's a tough
No.
look. Like I think I only recognized like a couple player in that, like Marco Rossi, I think was one. Like
Yeah, that one for me.
Everybody else, I don't know.
Yeah, pull
But
another.
I love the Worlds. It's only time to watch like afternoon hockey. or sometimes 4 a.m. hockey, depending when it's starting. But it's fun.
Did you? I completely lost my train of thought. Actually, it's back. Did you see the quote from the player that said that the environment over there is better than the playoffs in any capacity here in the NHL?
I didn't know.
No, I can't remember who said it. And I want to say it was. I don't know. They were wearing a blue jersey, so that narrows it down not very much. But
could be like
there you go. Have at it.
Ireland, Great Britain, Sweden potentially.
Yeah, I'll try and dig you. Yeah.
Kazakhstan.
Oh my
But
god.
I think Slovakia's won 3 games in a row. That is the one team that is just like popping off. I think they beat America. Like that is, and they're
Well, I was just gonna say,
they're
I was just
they're
saying,
the
the
favorites.
US are the US are 6th right now in Group B.
And I thought they were gonna
3
I
games
thought they were gonna
played.
run the show.
Yeah, they got 1 win. So who's a notable name on that US team that kind of like you going, what the fuck's going on?
Wait, like
The whole team.
I mean,
Fair enough.
Brady
Yeah.
Tkachuk, who's the captain of the team, had a very funny quote. He's like, "I wish I could fight. I wish this tournament allowed us to fight." And he's like talking about
They're not allowed to
and
fight.
you don't fight in internationally usually, but
Damn.
he's talking about how intense these games are, and it shows. Like even if it is the first 3 games of the Worlds they had, the intensity is insane. Like this is the most interesting World Cup World Cup, International Worlds or whatever it's called. It's kind of crazy. I've only watched the Canada games, the 2. I didn't watch the great.
What are some notable players on the Canada? I haven't watched any games, so I don't even know who's playing for
Bedard.
Canada or, like, who's
Bedard's
doing well.
great. He's amazing.
Well, I
John
thought I saw
Tavares-
Bedard on there, but I didn't want to say
John
that.
Tavares came in, got the captaincy, and he's been great. Like Toronto,
Bennington's in that.
he's been oof. Same with
Yeah, that one.
Hofer. Who else is there?
The quote came from, real quick though, Simon
Oh,
Nemec.
love that guy. Yeah, those Slovakians are
Slovakia.
crazy.
Yeah, so kind of checks out.
So, yeah.
But
I'm
carry on.
loving Sweden though.
Oh, there's that
I'm
Swedish
just looking at
team's
some of the
crazy.
numbers here.
Eric Carlson.
16 goals for, 4 against. They're
Mhm.
just running the group there. Really good for them.
Yeah, Sweden's
Good
got a
for
great hockey
them.
team. But yeah, no, I love
Great
it.
Britain does not.
I feel like
Great Britain,
oh,
trash.
yeah. That is Great Britain.
Bad. They've only scored 2 goals. Okay, figure it out.
Kirk is the only like NHL player I can think of, or British player in the NHL I can think of. And he's
Do you know
AHL.
Rod Stewart? You know Rod Stewart, the singer?
Mm-hmm.
His son plays for Great Britain. I don't know at what capacity,
Huh?
but his son is a hockey player and plays for Great Britain.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah. The
Fun
more you
fact.
know.
Fun facts with Liam.
Oh, I'm out here just tossing them out.
But yeah, I've been having the games always pulled up on my TV here, but it's great. It's the only time. I'm glad it's not like overlapped with NHL hockey. That's my big thing because I always prioritize NHL. But
Noah just sits there all day, every day. He's got different hockey. He's got like the remote switching through each channel. He's got all repeat going. Yeah, there you go.
I'm always watching hockey out there.
I love it. I love that.
But yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about in terms of the NHL playoffs or any other
How
news?
about the Connor Ingram winning the Bill Masterton? Good for him. Honestly, he's a great guy. I mean, maybe the last award Arizona's ever gonna get. So
yeah.
there you go. I didn't
Wow,
really
he
think
had
about
the first quarter Vesna,
True, that too. I mean, he's been
then
great.
and then he just kind of fell off a little bit, but
Funny one. Jacob Trouba winning the Marc Messier NHL Leadership Award
that's
Love it.
interesting.
for his flying elbows.
And the flying elbows and sticks to the
Yep.
face and jumping
I
heads.
love him
The
so
thing
much.
is,
I
I think
love
he's a great
player with
I
some
think he's a
grit.
great leader. I mean, Mark
You would,
Messier Award. He's known for those elbows, Marc Messier. So might as well
yeah.
give it.
No, you run
Usually
through a wall for
with
that
a
guy.
team from like a captain is you're protecting them.
True.
Trouba is protecting his team,
I love
throwing
it,
those hits down. He's just using his body. And I kind of like to see it where you're not just kind of like cradling your leader. They're putting their team on their back in a
sucker
way.
giving captains to those type of players. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Willing to run through that brick wall, right? That's what a captain's all about.
Mhm.
And you got like Hughes doing the same thing, right?
True. Oh, this was another one. I'm gonna switch it back to the world. Sorry, but Nico Hischier was the captain for Switzerland, and once Nashville got eliminated from playoffs, Roman Josi came over, and Nico Hischier's like, this guy's my idol. He's mean everything for my whole career, and gave him the captaincy. Like,
that's so cool.
That is
fantastic.
How can you
move.
not love Nico Hischier? Like, that is a great move. I mean, he is already a captain, so captain to captain right there. And yeah, that's a good story there on Switzerland, which that could be a thing that can motivate a team, right? Go win worlds, hopefully a bronze medal or something like that, right? So I'm curious how that tournament's gonna go. I don't have much else in news. Not sure if you...
We didn't come with notes this time.
No, I didn't even know we were recording today, so... Oh, Dave Rittich, Big Save Dave, signing a 1-year contract for $1 million.
Big Save Dave.
So...
What a name.
Sticking with LA?
Staying with LA.
As one would.
So they're
Why would I want to leave there at the end of my career?
I mean, I had stay in California my whole career. I would not complain.
Yep.
I don't know. I think that's pretty much it, unless you guys have any.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I think the next episode will be at the end of round 2 here. We'll wrap up all these series and we'll go over our predictions that we made for round 2. Hopefully, we can get something for Mr. Reese while he's on the tequila on the beach. We'll try to see what we can get there for him. So if you want to see that, keep an eye on the Around the Rinks social media. Links will be in the description for that. When will this be up? Will this be up tomorrow or today?
Probably next couple hours or so. So
there you go. Look,
Wednesday.
this guy just he's
He's on it.
One man show.
I'll get it done during intermission. That one thing, who do you got winning the PGA Championship? Might as well, right? While we're recording this, see if we get a little luck. I'm not sure if you guys know any players. I know Brendan knows, but
I every time I say Rory, he disappoints me dramatically.
I know. He doesn't every single time.
Just get a green jacket, Rory, please.
I mean,
God.
He won Wells Fargo last tournament. Like,
yeah, no, he's coming off big win.
Got some momentum coming in. So,
and that's Sunday back 9. Oh my goodness! What a scorecard!
I think he dunked it in from the bunker or something. Like, it's just things like that. He's looking like prime Rory out there, looking like he's gonna be a cover boy for the next PGA game.
Did you see with the divorce? So when the papers go through that this dude's gonna sign that $800 million live deal.
Oh really?
No, not actually, but it would be very funny if he did.
There's no way Rory signs with Liv. Like, that is one guy. Him and Tiger, I don't think won't. Those are the two players that I don't think.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's your face of your entire image.
But again, I said the same thing about John Rahm. So
yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Who do you got winning?
I go Rory. I go Rory. He'll disappoint me as he usually does.
Kylie, you got a pick?
I have no idea what we're talking about. I'll pull the woman card and stay out of it.
No,
We're talking about basketball?
Golf.
Guess what? Golf?
Yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't want golf?
It's golf season.
I'm going Tiger Woods.
That would be incredible.
That would be. Everyone would love some Tiger.
As much as it's not going to happen. I mean, he's rocking the goatee now.
That's the only big name I know. I'm sorry.
I'm just waiting for his son. I'm waiting for Charlie Woods. Okay, that's the next man.
He actually looks like he's gonna be really good.
His son, yeah. Look at his teacher.
His
teacher's the greatest golfer of all time.
I mean, son like father, right?
I mean, yeah, Tiger had a
golf course.
Great mentor there.
Yeah.
I think I have a gambling issue. I put up 10 bets for this weekend.
Jesus.
What do you got?
I didn't put a bet of winning outright, but if I had to pick,
like top 5, top 10 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if who I want to win, I would love to see Nick Taylor take it.
Yeah,
that'd be incredible. It's probably Scotty. It's
I
gotta
was just
be-
gonna say I hate to take
Yeah, I
Scotty,
hate to
but like,
take
how do you bet against that guy at this
so
point?
bad. That's just.
That
Around-
and Brooks. Brooks
around
shows
the
up for these
Rinks-
I
Masters,
don't know. He
man.
didn't show up for the Masters.
Can we
Yeah,
do
but-
a special summer podcast where
Around the course.
around the rinks turns into around the links?
Around
Like
the
I'm
Rinks,
feeling
that
this
was
one.
very nice. I'd love that.
That's nice.
But yeah, it's gotta be Scotty. It's just like he's
Scotty,
he's a different
yeah.
breed. And
Get one with the
yeah,
kid
now
now.
he's got that new dad energy coming in. Like,
Dad strength. He's gonna be driving the ball an extra 30 yards. It's Scotty's tournament to lose, honestly.
true. Well, I think that's gonna be the end of this. You want to throw a name, Kylie?
She's a tiger. She's a
Tiger.
tiger.
Oh yeah, you did say tiger.
She's
Oh,
a
that'd
tiger.
be, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. I do have a little fun fact though. It brings golf and hockey together.
Let's see.
But I was
Wrap up
talking
this
with my
podcast with it. Let's do it.
Let's finish her off. with
I
a fun
was
fact.
talking to my coworker the other day, and we were talking about Skinner and like the whole because I was like, I think Pickard's gonna start game 4, right? And then we're talking, and she says, "Oh, my friends work at like a lot of the golf courses, like Windermere, South Side, and that's Skinner's South Side." And they said that they met him, and he is the nicest guy ever. He tips them so well. He's just a sweetheart, apparently. So love to hear that about him. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed otherwise, but it's nice to hear that, you got somebody playing for you and they're just a really good person.
I wish I was a golf course cart girl making tips off Stuart
Yeah.
Skinner. My
Right.
goodness
No
me.
kidding. Life
Imagine
could
how
be
big
better,
they are.
eh?
Woo.
Yeah.
I'd wear the shortest skirt possible.
Try to get his number too, right?
Yeah. You gotta dye your hair blonde to work there.
Oh,
Pretty much. Pretty
I'm
much.
going-
No, you're
I'm
in. We're going to Noah Pomeroy, everybody. Applause for Noah Pomeroy. He's
You're the
making
spark
money.
girl I've
It's all
ever seen.
magical too. Platinum blonde.
You're welcome. Do that
No,
again.
fuck
One more time for the camera.
That's our thumbnail. That's the thumbnail for Noah.
Maybe in another life I'll be a car girl. Alrighty.
Wrap
yeah,
this
let-
up,
We'll be,
Noah
we'll be
Pomeroy.
back. We'll
Wrap
be
this
back
up.
at the end of round 2. We'll give our semifinals predictions. I'm excited to see what's going on there, but maybe we'll see if Edmonton pulls it through. We'll see. But
We'll get to talk about how Dallas won, and I'm the only one that picked them.
God,
Let's hope by the end of this series, no one knows what day
Fire.
it is.
Pumping.
Yeah, tire pump. Now Dallas is gonna blow it now. Colorado did score, by the way, 1-1. So okay, well,
Come back song, baby.
follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere. It's YouTube, Spotify, Apple sometimes. We'll see you guys then. Peace out.
Goodbye, everybody.
That has been another episode of Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast. We'll see you next time.